Welcome to the Jim Bakker Show, coming to you from the village of Morningside, snuggled in the beautiful Ozark Mountains. Today, Jim's special guests, John Shorey, Michael Snyder, Rick Joyner, Dr. Chuck Missler, Bill Salas, and Rick Wiles. I'm Zach Drew, along with the Morningside Band. And now, coming to you straight from Gray Street at Morningside, here are your hosts, Jim and Lori Bakker.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gray Street.
Hi there.
Oh, there's some shows I can't wait to hear.
Yes.
This is one of them.
Yes.
I can't wait to hear my own show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zach Drew, and welcome to the Jim Bakker Show. Many years ago, God called Pastor Jim to build a platform for the prophets, both the known and the unknown. And over the years, we've brought incredible and anointed individuals from around the world. And we've also had the honor of bringing powerful and anointed words from unexpected sources. Today, we want to share with you some of the recent words of prophecy on our broadcast from people like Rick Joyner, Rick Wiles, Dr. Chuck Missler, John Shorey, and a few new faces as well. Let's hear what the prophets have to say, starting with the voice from the desert, John Shorey.
If you study all the Shemitah cycles, the last two Shemitah cycles, an economic drastic correction happened on the very day. But if you go back and look at other Shemitah cycles, many of the corrections happen days to weeks after the end of the Shemitah cycle. We can't put God in a box and say, God, you've got to do it this day.
No.
Just because it was to the exact day for the last two Shemitah cycles, it doesn't always happen on the exact day. But the prophetic chatter is so loud that an economic collapse is coming this year. And you see, I see this backed up by Scripture. Can I go into this?
Yes.
Well, do you know, a lot of people have talked about a generation from 1948. And I used to hold to that the 70 years was from 1948. But last January, God opened my eyes to a little study that I put in my new book called The Mystery of the Fig Tree. And you see, in Matthew 24, it talks about the budding of the fig tree. And it says, and then it closes by saying, this generation shall not pass away until the coming of the Son of Man. Well, 1948, Israel received their own land. In fact, in Amos, it says, I will bring Israel back, I will plant Israel in their own land, never to be uprooted again. That's Amos. I will plant Israel in their own land, never to be uprooted. You know, the example of the fig tree. You plant the fig tree in 1948, when Israel was planted in their own land, the enemy immediately tried to pull it out by the roots. When a tree is planted, it is most susceptible to dying at the first few months that it's planted. That's when you've got to nurture it and be able to get it to grow and to flourish. And immediately in 1948, the enemies tried to pull out the fig tree that God had just planted. But what did he say in Amos? I will plant Israel in their own land, never to be uprooted again. And what happened when the enemies attacked Israel in 1948? They got a nosebleed. I'll tell you, Israel, with the help of God and miracles that were just unexplainable except by God, they literally not only defended themselves, but they expanded their borders. And the enemy cried uncle and said, please, will we give up? You can stay in Israel. Just quit destroying us. And in March of 1949, a peace armistice was signed in Israel. And when it said in Matthew 24 that the fig tree would bud and blossom, put out new leaves, I believe the fulfillment of that verse in Matthew 24 was the signing of the armistice in 1949. And in 1949, so the people that are saying we can kick it down the road, what they're trying to say, and I don't see a Bible basis to back it up, what they're trying to say is that Israel didn't control Jerusalem until 1967. So we got a couple of 7-year Shemitah cycles that if we need room, we could just kick it down the road another 7 years. But you see, Amos did not said, I will plant Israel in Jerusalem. The Bible does not say that I will bring Israel back to Jerusalem as a fulfillment of prophecy. It says, I will bring Israel back to their own land, never to be uprooted again. That was 1948. Matthew 24 was fulfilled in 1949. And 70 years from 1949 is 2019. And I see a collapse coming to the world right now that would literally bring a global solution by early 2016. I believe we'll see the rise of the Antichrist by maybe even by February, by March of 2016. And I think one of the first things on his agenda will be to sign a peace in Israel. And I'll tell you, Israel is on the verge of war. But here's the point. When the peace is signed, 7-year peace is signed between the Middle East and Israel, that is what Daniel said would be the beginning of a 7-year, the Daniel 70th week that would be broke in the middle. So 3.5 years from March of 2016 is September 2019, that the same time as the Feast of Trumpets, and it's 70 years from 1949, the signing of the armistice, where Israel was allowed to bud and to flourish as a nation. So it's like, am I nervous that the stock market hasn't collapsed today? No, because you see, from my perspective, looking at it through the lenses of a mid-trib. Now, there are 3 prevailing views on the rapture. I am really concerned. My heart breaks for those that are adamantly holding on to pre-trib. Because the Bible says there's going to be great falling away, and I believe that could start in a matter of a couple of weeks when people realize we're heading into the Great Tribulation and the rapture hasn't happened. There are those, that are leaning to the 7 years. I don't have a problem with that because they're just going to be over-prepared. But the people that are not prepared, they're literally going to be blowing their brains out. They're going to be jumping off of buildings. This is going to be bad. And that's why, I wanted to be here this week. Because I want to be able to help explain why it doesn't totally make sense that the rapture is pre-trib. That people would maybe be open when they see the pre-trib rapture doesn't happen. I'm praying that maybe at that point they'll be willing to take a look at the book that God gave me.
Right.
There's over 500 Bible verses in here. This is a Bible study. If you can't read a Bible study, and be able to read what God has given his people to be able to help feed his flock,
That's right.
you know, then there's something wrong.
We need to find out what's going on. You know, the headlines today, fear grows over U.S. stock market bubble. What does that mean? What's a stock market bubble?
Well, stock market bubble is when stocks are massively overpriced. So we've seen price earnings ratios in recent years soar to unprecedented levels. The only times they've been higher was when other bubbles burst. The dot-com bubble in 2000, 2001, the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, and of course 1929. So if you look at the charts, it's very dramatic. The bubble that we've seen right now looks just like those past bubbles. In fact, I've been telling my readers that the setup we've seen for this financial crisis, if you were going to write a textbook and provide a textbook scenario for what the lead up to a financial crisis would look like, this is what it would look like. It's been perfect over the last few months. And then in the last 30 days, as we've approached the end of this Shemitah cycle, just the last 30 days, we've seen the most dramatic stock market crash in these last 30 days that we've seen since the end of the last Shemitah cycle.
Okay. Now, you're saying exactly what I've been saying, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about that the stock market went down 2,200 points. When it went down 777 in one day, we almost lost the world, it seemed like. It was crazy. It was like the end of the world. It was so bad. People lost money. And people have money in the markets. And here's what God has spoken to me is going to happen. Millions and millions of people who have their investment, their retirement,
Batten down the hatches,
lose it
hurricane
all.
season is coming. Get those
And you
Vienna
talk about
sausage
hunger.
buckets in.
Horrible.
Back order.
and then who's crazy
Yeah,
to have stored food?
that's right.
If your stock market goes, that's one thing.
Right.
But if then the whole financial systems go and there's no Social Security, what would be stupid? My family used to have,
Like a cellar, right?
yeah,
And
there was a
cellar
fruit
and-
cellar or a root cellar, or whatever
Right.
we would call them, different
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Today, church people are calling people who store things foolish. That we're going to be raptured out, so don't prepare. It's time to prepare. John Kilpatrick is saying God gave him the vision of America being divided right down the center, down the Mississippi River, and that literally the bridges would be all gone, and literally it would split America in two.
Absolutely. This is something I've written about because every time we touch Israel, Israel is the apple of God's eye. You touch Israel, you get in big trouble
Yes.
with God.
Yes.
And so I've written about this and it's not just John Kilpatrick. Shane Warren, a great Assembly of God pastor down in Louisiana, he was on the Sid Roth show and he prophesied. He said that when we divide the nation of Israel, God told him God is going to divide our land. And actually, the worst earthquakes in the history of the United States, the lower 48 states, were along the New Madrid Fault, 1811 and 1812. They were so bad, they caused church bells to ring in Boston. They made the Mississippi River flow backwards for a time, permanently changing the course of the river. And so they were the worst earthquakes the lower 48 states have ever seen. But what we're going to see ahead is worse. What these men and women of God have seen is that a new body of water is actually going to be created in the center of this country. So we divide the land of Israel. God is going to divide our land. We're going to get done to us what we do to them.
Yes.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Chinese stock market, which is the second largest stock market in the entire world, is crashing big time, but it's not just China. Right now, there are 23 nations. I recently wrote about this, listed them all out. There are 23 nations around the world right now where the stock market is crashing. And it started here, we mentioned earlier, over the past 30 days. We've seen the most dramatic stock market crash we've seen since the end of this last Shemitah cycle. And all of the gains here in the United States, all the gains in the Dow since the end of 2013, December 2013, all those gains have already been wiped out. So you want to talk about a wipeout for the Shemitah? All those gains from the past 2 years already gone, and we're just beginning. Within the last 30 days, we've seen the 8th largest stock market crash, single-day stock market market crash in all of U.S. history within the last 30 days. We saw the 10th largest stock market crash in all of U.S. history within these last 30 days.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. The 8th and the 10th already within these last 30 days. So this is already what's been going place. We saw the stock market go down, the Dow, by more than 500 points on 2 consecutive trading days for the first time ever. Never before in the history of the stock market has that happened. So this is what's already happened in these last 30 days leading up to the end of the Shemitah. And now I believe ahead of us is going to be a lot worse. But already the markets are going down. Things are going crazy all over the world. Brazil has gone into recession. Canada has gone into recession. World trade is declining.
I heard Canada, and you didn't even know that Canada's having financial trouble and is in recession.
Yeah, I believe that the greatest stock market crash, greatest financial class, not just the United States, but all over the world, the greatest financial crisis we've ever seen. And what makes things different this time is derivatives, these too big to fail banks. Remember 2008?
Yes.
We were told they were going to do something about the too big to fail banks. They got too big, they got too reckless. Something was going to be done. Nothing was done. Instead, today, the too big to fail banks are 40% larger collectively than they were during the last financial crisis. Meanwhile, 1,400 smaller banks have totally gone out of existence in our financial system. So the problem of too big to fail is now far larger than it ever was before. Well, it's this financial bubble all over the world. The world today is $200 trillion in debt all over the world. When you add up all forms of debt, add it together, $200 trillion of debt exploded since the last financial crisis. We're so much more vulnerable, so much in deeper trouble than we were last time around. Right now, there are 24 nations, according to a report, an international report that was recently released. There are 24 nations that are
war
facing
coming
a
to
debt
America
crisis
in hurricane
right now,
season. Get
14
those
more
Vienna
on the
sausage
way.
buckets.
So all over the world,
Sluts.
we've got red ink. The financial system, they've gone insanely reckless. This time when it happens, there's not going to be enough money in the entire world to bail everyone out.
If what you say is going to happen, what's life going to be like coming up?
Yeah, well, just like in 2008, what happened? The financial system started to go crazy, and all of a sudden there was a credit crunch. The banks didn't want to lend to each other. They didn't want to lend into anyone else. And we're so dependent on debt and credit. We need it to buy a car. We need it to buy a home. We need it to do whatever we do with our credit cards, everything else. So all of a sudden, if you're working somewhere, if you have a business, you're going to notice all of a sudden people don't have money to spend. People aren't coming in. People aren't spending. And so we're going to see unemployment rise.
Ayo, quiet storm, hold up. Is you saying that we use the Vienna sausages and shit?
And because most people don't have anything to fall back on, 62% of all Americans today are living paycheck to paycheck. So they won't be able to pay the mortgage. They won't be able to pay the bills. We're going to see foreclosures skyrocket. People kicked out of their homes, just like the last time around, but probably much, much worse. So things are going to get really, really hard in this country. We're going to see crime start to skyrocket. We're already seeing it in major cities all over the country this year. Violent crime is up by double digits in cities all over the country this year. We're going to see civil unrest. We're already seeing it in Baltimore and other places where people are getting desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. Right. And so the life in America, I recently wrote an article entitled, "The Last Days of Normal Life in America." This false prosperity, debt-fueled prosperity we've been enjoying, it's coming to an end. Our standard of living is going to adjust dramatically. We're going to see crime. We're going to see civil unrest, which in turn is going to cause the government to crack down. Martial law declared in different cities eventually to try to restore order, kind of like after Hurricane Katrina. So we're going to see chaos, we're going to see panic, we're going to see people plunge into despair and depression. That's why we have to urge people to get prepared, because there's hope in getting prepared. Yes. There's hope in understanding what's happening. Right. So we're not spreading a message of fear, we're spreading a message of hope.
Yeah, I love that, Michael. What you just said is so right on. Right. Mike, did you hear? I mean, that is the word of the hour right there.
Right.
There's hope in getting prepared.
That's right.
We will be right back after this special message.
On the eve of the event, the money system began collapsing, and many people like me desperately rushed to banks and ATMs and anywhere to get cold hard cash. But it was a fool's errand. All wealth had been wiped away. The banks froze and went on a permanent holiday. I knew on that day that money had officially died.
What will you do in a disaster? economic collapse, or any other potential emergency. You need to have food now. We have teamed with leaders in the survival food industry to bring you a new variety of food while still holding down the cost for you. Each of the foods we now offer have been taste tested by our staff to make sure you get the best tasting and quality
Shmita
food that you
Cheetos.
expect
This is
from
my
this ministry.
independence from Knickers and
I
beans.
never pointed to any
Fireworks
specific point
in a
time.
bucket.
I never said
Boom.
it's imminent. Another crisis is imminent. But at the end of June, I felt the Lord leading me that I needed to go on the record and say another major financial crisis is coming within the last 6 months of 2015. Now, I don't want anyone to think that the crisis is going to be over once we get to the end of 2015, because in so many ways our problems are just going to be starting.
The time is now. I was saying to our audience, this dream is coming true. The time is now.
Today, you can donate to our ministry and receive 1 year of food for you for $600 or more plus shipping. We also have 2 years of food for you for a donation to our ministry of $1,100 or more plus shipping. These recipes are absolutely mouth-watering and have been perfectly seasoned to guarantee you a delicious meal for the next 20 years. Our Time of Trouble offer is available today for a donation to our ministry of $3,500 or more plus shipping. Call today 1-888-988-1588 or go to our online store at jimbakershow.com. Thank you for your prayers and support that help keep us broadcasting around the world.
Is this God's judgment for America turning her back on God?
Well, yeah, it's discipline. As we've discussed a few times, God's judgment isn't always destruction or condemnation. It's discipline for those whom he loves. I think Katrina was discipline from the Lord. I think it was the judgment of God. Many things are happening. It's a cascading judgment that we see in Isaiah chapters 1 through 5. I think we're seeing it happen here when you turn from the Lord and start calling good evil and evil good and honoring the dishonorable. These things are going to happen, but it's as much him removing his protection. And we're getting what would have happened. I think as you saw in a vision one time when you called me from California and you'd had that vision, you'd been caught into the
Give
earth,
us
you
that
felt
free
like
stuff
you'd
or
really
we
been
take back
inside the
these
earth.
screens.
You saw
We
angels
gingerly
holding
Nikes
things back,
by
keeping
Hutch.
it from happening. Now, I think he's doing the same thing with our economic situation. I think we would have collapsed a long time ago. You just follow basic economic principles. We're being kept.
Yeah,
We're being held. And he may keep us a while longer.
right.
We pray that he will before major things are released so more people are ready and prepared.
Yes.
But we don't have any time to waste.
Do you believe that we're entering the greatest financial crisis in history? I heard you say something like that.
Yes, I do,
Make
Jim.
that clear.
We're not just headed for a financial crisis. I believe we're headed for the greatest financial crisis that America has ever seen, the world has ever seen. It's not just going to be the United States, it's going to be global. And it's going to lead to not only an economic crisis, not only a recession, we're headed for the greatest depression that we've ever seen, I believe. America is going to be shaken to the core. And I'm in total agreement with Rick Joyner. We're going to look back and we're going to be absolutely amazed at how long God gave us mercy, how long he held things together by his grace, because by all reckoning, by all human reasoning, things should have already collapsed by now.
Yeah.
So he's given us time to repent. He's given us mercy, but now I believe that time is running out.
Do you feel America's prepared for what's coming? Do they have any ability to survive this?
Jim, unfortunately, people aren't prepared. That's why I appreciate your ministry so much. One survey found that 62% of Americans today are living paycheck to paycheck. That means they don't have anything to fall back on. And 53% of Americans don't have any emergency supplies. So if the food and the water run out, they're going to be out of luck within a matter of days. That's about half the country. And so we didn't learn our lessons from the last time around. People are not preparing. Yeah, it's been estimated there's about 3 million preppers in the United States, but we've got over 300 million people living in this country.
You have a news story there, don't you, Zach, right now?
Yes, I thought this was an interesting article. It says this: U.S. drops to
That's the one.
16th on economic freedom list behind Canada and Chile. It says United States ranks second in worldwide economic freedom as recently as 2000 has plummeted to 16th according to a new report of world economies.
America's changed. It's not the same America that I knew when I was a young person. It's really, really changed. How can we be prepared? What would you tell the people today to be ready for these things, for martial law, for whatever happens, the earthquakes on the West Coast? Could you give me just a couple things from your years of wisdom?
We must know his voice.
Yes.
Ooh.
You know, his sheep know his voice, and they follow him because they know his voice. John 10. But, you know, I think I've been saying this for decades, but, you know, harping on something, angels harp. So it's important that we do that sometimes. We've got to know his voice for ourselves. And, you know, now we're paying a high price. Most people, we won't know until eternity just how much harder our lives were because we didn't know his voice and didn't follow his voice.
Yeah.
We made wrong turns, bad decisions, little things. But as we get closer and closer to the end, it's going to be life and death that we hear from him. Don't go down this road. Go down this one.
Yes.
And we experienced that in a major way in a lot of the disasters in Haiti. If you went down a road, you were going to die. I'm talking right after the Haiti earthquake.
Yes.
You make a wrong turn down the wrong road, you will die.
Sure.
And because of the gangs and everything, it's something we must know his voice. I can't emphasize that enough. But the only way you get to know the voice of someone is you got to be with them.
Yeah.
I can, you know, describe my wife's voice to you technically.
Yes.
And you may know all the technical details of her voice, decibel, everything, but you couldn't distinguish her voice from anybody else's if you heard it.
That's right.
If they were close. But I know it. If she was in this room, anywhere, I would instantly know she's right over there because we've been together so much.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't think there are any technical formulas for knowing the voice of the Lord. You've just got to be with it.
That's
Yes.
it.
You've got to have that relationship. You've got to be
Amen.
getting closer
Yes.
and closer to him. There is no other way.
Yes.
Know
So
his
that
word.
he is the answer to every human problem. Being in his will, being with him, is the safest place we can ever be.
Yes.
And if it's our time, let's go home. Let's be happy.
I believe with all my heart that God had to let down his hand of protection for 9/11 to
trying to
take
wake
place.
us up. It's a
Yeah.
wake-up call. And by the way,
And that's an abandonment, and that's scary.
one of the biggest ones, in my mind, was the speech that Benjamin Netanyahu made to our Congress. Benjamin Netanyahu came and tried to warn us. And Netanyahu tried to warn us about our support of Israel as being essential for our welfare. Many people thought it was self-serving. No, it was a legitimate explanation of Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. And it's interesting. People ask me, gee, do I think there's a judgment coming on America? I can give them an argument financially. I'll set that one aside. The clearest one is, you know, for more than 10 years when I travel, when I speak somewhere, we usually have an open Q&A. And one of the things that would always be predictable as a question from an audience was, why hasn't God judged America? Billy Graham quipped that so cleverly years ago. If God doesn't judge America, he'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
Great soundbite, right on the same thing Thomas Jefferson said in terms of, I tremble for my country when I regard that God is just and that his justice won't sleep forever. Thomas Jefferson, 1781. Point is, as we look at our predicament, The thing I was always able to answer an audience was the reason God hasn't judged America was because of our support of Israel. And I would lean on Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. I'll bless them that bless you and curse them that curse thee. And what shocks me to discover for the first time in my entire career, I now recognize and acknowledge that for the first time in our history in America, we've turned against Israel.
Right.
We no longer officially stand for Israel's right to exist.
You know, if you look at the last chapter of the book of Daniel, and it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end, and many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." I believe that is this time.
Yes, exactly.
And it's been sealed. And you have your telephone, I have my telephone. This is not a telephone, really, it's a computer with multiple purposes. It's a television set. Yes. My BibleSoft, I use the BibleSoft that I love so much.
I do too. Yeah.
And so you have the knowledge that has been increased is phenomenal.
You're absolutely right. That quote is often, Daniel 12:4 is quoted often, but its context is knowledge of the Word of God.
Yes.
So knowledge of the Word of God.
Yes.
And there are passages in prophecy that we now understand for the first time. And it's amazing to make a list of verses in the New Testament that really didn't have serious meaning until today. To give you an example, it speaks of there'd be a time when, if it were possible, all mankind would wipe itself out. When you think about that, if you were reading that in 1860, the time of the Civil War, it wouldn't make sense. Man could not wipe himself out with bayonets and muskets. The technology today hangs over every geopolitical decision made of the nuclear threat. So suddenly we read some of those statements we take for granted have unique awareness today as never before. And we need to keep that in focus.
Yes.
You were quoted in Charisma magazine recently, and it says that an implosion or collapse is unavoidable. Is that coming soon? Do you believe that we're going to see an implosion?
Absolutely. By the way, that is the perception of anyone who is informed on the details of finance in general. Probably the most reputable consulting company in the world is the McKinsey & Company, and they have a growth studies group, and they set out to try to make an estimate of the entire wealth of the planet Earth. And they came up with an estimate about a little over 200 trillion. Now, what makes that interesting, the reason I make reference to it, today we talk about the debt of the U.S., and we all misquote it. We all talk about 17 trillion in debt. That's the cash debt. That's not the total debt. When you add to the accrued liabilities, Medicaid and Social Security and so forth, our debt isn't 17 trillion, it's 211 trillion. Now, the reason that's so shocking is the debt of the United States is larger than the total wealth of the planet Earth. It doesn't take a genius in math to realize it's unstable.
Right.
That debt can never be repaid with a legitimate currency. And that's a reality that's putting panic in many, many boardrooms as they begin to realize that we are already more than bankrupt.
Right.
And the central bankers around the world are not stupid. They know that too. And that's why there's a panicking move to disconnect themselves from the U.S. dollar.
They are?
Yes, because we can print money as long as we're printing the reserve currency. So the Federal Reserve can go on and print dollars to cover the situation for now, but that only works while we control the world reserve currency. But there are presently 9 treaties already signed with China and Brazil and Russia and so forth. in which they are deliberately disconnecting themselves from the US dollar. And every month that goes by, there is a disconnecting of the US dollar as a reserve currency. Somewhere along the way, the US dollar will no longer be the US reserve, will be the world reserve currency. When they do that, the present recourse of the Federal Reserve won't work. And when will that occur? No, there's two things we don't know. We don't know the form of that implosion. Will it be deflation or hyperinflation? They're both dangerous for different reasons. They're both terrifying. We don't know the form it'll take. That's part one. Part two, we don't know the timing. It could be next month. It could be early next year. Everybody has a slightly different perception. They know it's not far off. The real problem, if you look at all the countries, they all have problems. The group that is least prepared for what's coming is the United States. All through Europe, they've had tanks in their background, in their memories. They all know it can happen here. We have an attitude in the United States that, well, we've got problems, but they'll work out somehow.
Right.
We take for granted
We
there's
must
a
secure
solution
the
on
existence
horizon,
of our
because
buckets
we
and a
haven't done the
future for
homework.
Fiesta
There
buckets
isn't
and
a
cheesy.
clear, absolute,
Broccoli
way to
rice.
avoid what's coming. And so the people that are least prepared are the rank and file in the U.S. And that's one of the problems that we're facing as a church.
Yeah.
Because people who today, or up till now, have been complacent and satisfied, are suddenly going to be desperately looking for answers. If my people who are called by my name, if they'll do 4 things, I'll do 3. If my people who are called by name will humble themselves, we know how to do that. May not do it enough. And pray, we know how to pray. Humble themselves and pray and seek my face. Now, that's not an intellectual thing. That's a volitional thing. That's a passion thing.
Yeah.
If my people will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Now, wait a minute. That's not addressed to the executives in Hollywood. That's not addressed to our congressmen or senators. That's not addressed to the executive branch. That's addressed to my people who are called by my name.
Wow.
If they don't do
All
those
of
4
us.
things, then will I hear from then will I hear from him? Apparently not until then, in a corporate sense.
Yeah.
Then will I hear from heaven?
Yeah.
Wow.
Forgive their sin, praise God,
Yes.
and heal their land.
Yes.
So the thing that's missing in the list is certainly the last one. Turn from their it's the turn from wicked ways in the body of Christ, in the church, that's standing in the way of what God would prefer to do. So that's the problem.
Well, everyone is deceived except the Lord, who has given us information we need to know to process about what's forthcoming. And things are forthcoming. And when you talk about these earthquakes,
Oh yeah, fuck
contextually,
me good,
East
human,
goes
and
on
out
to
and
say,
out and
talks
out and
about
out and out.
when
Yeah,
these
that feels
signs
so
of the
good.
end times
Fuck.
happen, they will become like
Yeah.
birth pangs or like a woman in travail.
Yes.
So when we talk about events starting to happen now, we're going to see events happen. They're going to get bigger and they're going to get more frequent and more intense, like a woman about to give birth. The second coming of Christ is coming. But events are going to happen between now and then that are going to be very powerful and world impacting. And when they come, they're going to be very intense and very frequent, like the child coming down through the birth canal ready to come. You can't stop it. And that's about where we're at in the timeline. So these earthquakes are just one indication about what's about to happen in this juncture.
People need to get ready. They need to be ready. They need to know Christ. They need to understand that what's happening so they're not scared to death when the world starts coming apart.
Right. One of the blessings that the Word of God has given this generation is a plethora of information. There's more said in the Bible for these days than at any other time in the history of man and since the Bible was canonized. So we need to get that information out. The prophecies that are right at the doorstep, what are they? It says in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Well, we don't want the people of God to be deprived of that knowledge, of that information that is ready for them in the Word of God to understand.
We will be right back after this special message. When you need a portable emergency power system that is ready at a moment's notice, the fuelless generator is exactly what you were looking for.
If I thought an EMP bomb was coming, or if I thought there was going to be a big storm or a big problem, I would want one of these in my house.
Something is going to happen in 2015 that is going to change how we view our system, how we view life. And when that something happens, you're not going to be able to get a fuelless generator. It's going to be impossible to get a generator.
I'm really enthralled with this device. It's an elegant technology. With every storm we've had this winter, I just pull the thing out, I set it up in the living room, I run some extension cords into other rooms. I even ran my 60-inch television off it.
Order your generator now before they are gone. Call 1-888-988-1588 or go to JimBakerShow.com.
It's such an incredible offer. For example, this is for a donation of $2,500 to the ministry. And the unit just by itself is a retail value of $2,500, but you're also going to get a solar panel, which is a retail of $500, then the 20-foot extension cord, and that retails for over $50, and then the crank, which is a retail of over $200. So it's an absolutely incredible savings.
A lot of people ask me to endorse stuff and all that. This is the only thing I have been endorsing like this. I fully believe in this product.
Wow. But can you imagine in the pitch darkness that you have light?
These generators are in stock and are ready to be shipped now. Thank you for your continued support that helps keep us broadcasting around the world.
If every church is ready, we can win more souls in the last hours on earth before Jesus comes back. We can win more souls than any time in history. And I think it's going to take the shaking. I really do. I think God's judgment has to come because, you know, Billy Graham actually Ruth invented it. Ruth said it the first time. If God doesn't send judgment to America soon, he'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah.
I believe that where we are, mankind is right now on God's prophetic timeline, are between two marquee events. One of them we talked about was the rebirth of the nation Israel in 1948.
Yes.
The other one is when God puts the world on notice that he's God. It says in Ezekiel 39:7, I will uphold my holy name in the midst of my people Israel. They shall not profane it anymore, and the nation shall know I'm the Lord. He's going to let the world know he's the covenant-keeping God of Abraham,
Lord
Isaac, and Jacob. After he defeats this most massive, formidable armed Mideast invasion with Russia, Iran, Turkey, etc. And he's going to stand up, and he's going to be able to say, I'm the holy God that you need to put your faith in. Yeah. We are racing towards that. So if we had a yardstick here, and 1948 represented on the 36 inches the rebirth of Israel, and we started moving our marker all the way up to about 30 to 32 inches or so, 67 years fits in that gap since Israel became a nation. I believe at this point we are just 3 or 4 inches, if you will, how you want to equate that in time, not very far, from God putting the world on official notice that things are converging. The issue with that is, although we're getting that close to Ezekiel 38 and 39, several things have to happen before that can even happen, because the Israel described in that prophecy is very specific. It is an Israel that's dwelling securely. I ask your viewers, is Israel dwelling securely right now? No, they are not. It says they are dwelling without walls, bars, nor gates, and they're very wealthy because Russia's coming after plunder and booty. Israel, the Middle East is the most fenced-in and fortified region in the world. Israel's the most fenced-in and fortified nation inside the Middle East. They are building walls all around. They've got a 403-mile wall that separates Palestinian terrorism out of Israel proper, called the Partition Wall. They've got a wall up around Lebanon that they built to try to keep Hezbollah out. They've got a wall built down around the Sinai for the terrorists down there. They're building a wall that goes around now to help Jordan to keep terrorism out. They're very concerned about ISIS moving in. So they're not dwelling securely, and Psalm 83 has to happen really before they can dwell securely, because their Arab nemesis around them are not going to support Israel.
What's going to happen to the United States during all this warfare?
Well, at the pace we're going, where we've crossed every dangerous biblical boundary that once it's crossed, no nation or empire has ever gone back and digressed and reversed the trend, and every time they crossed them, they were destroyed. Like, for instance, taking God out of the schools and prayer and Bible in 62 and 63, and abortions in 1973, where now we've had about 58 million abortions at a rate of about 1 million per year, which, if you recall, that's what the northern kingdom of Israel was destroyed for by the Assyrians in 722 BC. Then you come along and take out the Defense of Marriage Act. These are all adjudicated by the Supreme Court in 2013, where one man should be married to one woman, which is what the Bible endorses, right, Pastor Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can't defend the constitutionality of that biblical endorsed scenario, which then paved the way to June 26th of 2015, which many people say that may have been the day that America died, when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriages. Now, sexual perversion, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed around 4,000 years ago, okay? Wickedness, okay? Moral decadence, the Syrian Empire, around 612 BC by the Medes and the Persians. So the concern is, as America continues to cross these lines, and now turning our back on Israel with this Iran deal, which puts Israel in a isolated, deadly condition, where they will have to now act on their own, and they probably will. They'll probably strike Iran.
God help us.
And this will not be a Hamas, crosstown rivalry. This will be an epic scenario. That's what we're going to probably wake up to see. And America, unless we get on the right side of these things, I tell Christians, I say, don't look for a political superhero to come up and correct all these and reverse all these trends. Look to God, because right now you need God in your life to understand what is going to happen. He wants you to have this information and to be in right relationship with Him and redeem the time, because the time is now very short.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Right now, one of the greatest miracles of God is the rebirth of the nation of Israel, and it's going unnoticed. Much of the church even doesn't recognize the conspicuous fingerprints of God on the rebirth of the nation of Israel. They think, and much in correspondence with the world, is that it's a moral obligation of the United Nations after what happened after the Holocaust. But yet we're told in Jeremiah 23 that a time would come where they would no longer say, "Thus says the Lord who brought us out of Egypt." Remember the parting of the Red Seas. No one's been able to master that feat ever since. That was a big deal, and the Hebrews always were told to reflect upon that, how the Lord delivered us through this terrible time in our history, and he will deliver us through all the things we go through. And then Jeremiah says, no, 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 no. A time is coming where they will no longer say that, but a time will come when they say, "This, the Lord brings us out of the north countries and the south countries and all the countries where they had been driven." That's the time we live in right now. The Lord had to put a Zionistic inclination on Jews living throughout the world for 1,878 years, different cultures, different languages, to even want to go back to a place that was desolate. Yes. He had to create an area where they could go back, because under the dominion of the Ottoman Empire from 1517 to 1917, there would be no Israel. He had to prepare the land for the people, and that's what happened after World War I. Okay? He had to prevent Hitler from destroying the Jews so there could be a people for that land, and that was what happened in World War II. And he had to lift up the Allies to try to prevent that from happening. So this is a miracle, folks, that you need to recognize. Your God is in the miracle business.
Yes.
And if you want to know that, just look at the rebirth of the nation of Israel and the fact it still exists, and God is going to do mighty things through Israel, and He's ultimately going to uphold His holy name through them. And we are racing toward that time, and you may experience it. And you need to know God is going to do that, but you need to know God right now.
Yes.
You don't wait for that event if you don't know Him right now. You need to know Him right now, because He's reaching out to you. He wants you to know Him. This information is for you, so that you can know He's real. Prophecy is to authenticate His sovereignty and to equip you, and it can spare lives, and it can save souls. It saved my soul through studying Chuck Missler's book of Revelation. It saved Noah's family. It saved the Egyptians when Joseph acted upon the prophecies he got from 7 years of plenty versus 7 years. It saves souls. It spares lives. You need to know this information. You need to know that God loves you, and He wants you to have this information because He loves you.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Oh, yes. Amen.
Absolutely. Listen, how long do you really, I know you can't set dates, but how long do you think it could be? What's the quickest the 83rd Psalm war could take place?
Well, I believe it's imminent, and it could happen at any given time. I believe it happens before the tribulation period. And that puts it into real time right now, because we're not in the tribulation period, that 7 years of tribulation, for various reasons. I believe it'll happen before Ezekiel 38, which I believe we're marching towards. But the thing, Pastor Jim, is this. This is not the only thing that's now right now. There are other prophecies right in and around this, peripheral
Absolutely.
prophecies, with Isaiah 17 and Iran and the prophecy of Elam and things like that. So from my vantage point, I wake up every morning and I wonder what's going to happen when the news is going to happen. You know, God will curse those that curse Israel. That's what Psalm 83 is talking about. They will be destroyed for trying to destroy Israel. That's the end result of what will happen, and that will be the conclusion of the Arab-Israeli war. Does God want to destroy people? No. But if they curse Israel, they will be cursed. And they're not getting that message. They are still cursing Israel. And it will climax in the ultimate curse of trying to destroy Israel, that the name of Israel can be remembered no more. I've prayed many nights as I was writing these books, Lord, how long until you're going to allow these people that are cursing Israel to continue on without cursing them? And one night I got a message from him that said, basically, what part of a long-suffering God that I am don't you understand, Bill? And that summed it up for me. These prophecies are going to come, but meanwhile, God is reaching into these repressed areas where missionaries can't even get into, like in Iran or in these Syrian refugee camps, through dreams, miracles, and visions. He's rolling up his sleeve. He's doing a supernatural work.
Yes.
And he's bringing people into the kingdom because he doesn't want anybody to perish.
That's right.
But a time is coming where these prophecies will find fulfillment. And my concern now is that time is coming real soon. It's coming now.
Just a few days ago, the Federal Reserve decided not to raise interest rates.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, I mean, we're basically,
It was like they were debating, and people said, well, the market will go down or go up either way.
Oh, they've been
either way. So they said, well,
the Fed has been, you know, teasing for over a year or two that they're going to raise interest rates. And my hunch was they were not going to raise interest rates because they can't stop printing money. Jim Sinclair, who is an expert in the precious metals market, I mean, legendary, right? He said years ago when the quantitative easing started with the printing of money, he said it's QE to infinity. And a lot of people on Wall Street thought that was a radical statement. He said they'll never stop printing money. Once you start down this path, you can't turn back.
You're kidding.
So my hunch was they're flirting. They're telling us they're going to raise interest rates, but the truth is they can't stop printing money. We're in a race to the bottom. China is drawing down on its foreign exchange reserves. They've got $1 trillion stored up, or I don't know how much they have. They were pumping about $100 billion into the stock market every 2 weeks to prop it up.
Who was?
China.
Our market or their market?
In their market.
Because that's what I've heard
doing.
That they were forcing businesses to invest in their own stock.
Yes, and the government was using their U.S. dollars that they had in their Forex reserve to pump up the Shanghai markets.
I believe there's countries that we have made deals with, they buy our stock.
Yes.
And I know there's ways to manipulate the market. I was told what they are in prison, and I don't dare tell it on the air. But I heard from bankers, because I was in what they call a white-collar prison, and I was told that we've made deals with other countries. But that's all. I better not say anymore.
Last year, when the Federal Reserve, basically they tried to make everybody believe that they had stopped the quantitative easing. What they did is that they outsourced it. Right away, Japan started printing money. European Union started printing money. They just outsourced it. And they're buying each other's debt.
Oh, my.
One country's central bank is buying the debt of another country, and we're on a race to the bottom. And nobody knows when it's going to happen and what it's going to look like. But if you're paying attention to it, one thing is certain, it's not going to be a pretty picture.
Okay. Is
But-
there anybody? I'm just wondering, has anybody else tried it out there? Sasha, have you
Yes,
found anybody?
actually. I have a few people over here at this table, and
Okay.
Tastes like homemade.
It tastes like homemade. It does.
I mean, to think that most of this food is 25 to 30 years
That's
of
right.
shelf life. So if the crash comes that we'll be talking about more on our next show probably, if the financial world's all over the world, and it's already collapsing, the world is collapsing
really-
financially, and
yeah.
we don't know it. But to think if they can't give you Social Security anymore,
Right. Oh my goodness.
and so you don't have anything to live off from, and then the grid, if it goes down at some point.
Oh boy.
But this is the staff of life as far as food.
Yes,
This will give
absolutely.
you life every day, and that you're going to be able. Can you imagine, like this all-purpose flour? That boils down to 6 cents per serving there, and all-purpose flour. But
Right.
to be able, when people come up to your church or to your house, you're going to be able to be someone with the answers.
That's right.
Not the one who's crying and saying, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're dying, we're starving.
That's right.
And Jesus said, Matthew 24, if you want to read it tonight, there's coming a time when there will be no. N-O. What does no mean?
No.
Some of you people never learned what no means because you wouldn't obey your parents. Remember when you rebelled and, no. And you said, I'm going out anyhow. I'm going to go get drunk anyhow. I'm going to go get drugs anyhow. I'm going to go get married anyhow. But God says there's coming a time when there's no food to eat.
That's right.
And that's why this is a $1,000 deal. How many years would that keep you alive?
3.6 for one person. So
3.6. So that's a pretty good deal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And with some bonus stuff in it.
And
got the barrel in
You
it.
got to get water, and you got to be able to purify it too.
Yeah,
so
I
don't
love
forget
that.
those.
I love this, and I think
lot
Mark,
of
you're
people are-
actually the one that brought this up to us. Was that we've got to
Yes.
have the water in order to? I think
Yeah.
at the last expo.
Absolutely, or that food's going to be really dry without
Yeah.
any water to make
Yeah.
it. So.
But order this. Go online to our website. It's $75 gift. This is the brand new invention. Brand new. Just invented. It takes out everything that
That's
we
right.
can figure out.
Everything.
99.9999. Amen?
Everything
Isn't that
that
good?
we've offered from Seychelles. That's right.
And it's from the Seychelles company. They've created it so it not only takes out all the harmful things, it also increases the pH,
Yes.
which can help your health.
That's the thing is for us to be healthy in this day and age that we're living in as well. Get yourself in shape. Take any measures you can
Yeah.
to be healthy, be strong, and
take-
courageous in these last days that we're living in.
We will be right back after this special message.
Morningside, the home of the Jim Bakker Show, is expanding quickly. If you have a passion for revelation in the gospel of Jesus Christ, then we need your help. We're presently seeking carpenters, builders, video professionals, students, and more. For more information, call 1-417-779-9000 or go online to jimbakkershow.com and click on the employment link.
God is bringing us literally the who's who, I believe, of the kingdom of God that has the wisdom to bring us information that really is not available hardly any place
Incredible. Incredible. It's awesome and an awesome opportunity for you to be a part of what God is doing.
It's part of your preparedness.
Yes,
so be
it is.
prepared. Order your food. Go
Yes.
to our website. Go to our phone numbers and call, whatever. But be prepared. Time is going to run out to be ready. No, I don't believe we're going out for a while according to the Bible. But I believe time's going to run out to get food ready.
Right.
Because right now, food is a month in preparedness now.
Right.
And so if you want to get your food ordered, do it now before it's too late. Call 1-888-988-1588 or write us at Post Office Box 7330, Branson, Missouri 65615, or go shopping at our website, Lori.
Just go to JimBakerShow.com.
God loves you. He really does. Bye-bye for today.
Bye-bye. We love you.
Welcome to the Jim Baker Show, coming to you from the village of Morningside, snuggled in the beautiful Ozark Mountains. Today, Jim's special guests, Mark Augustin, Gary Carlson. I'm Caleb Gordon, along with the Morningside Band and Singers. And now, direct from Gray Street at Morningside, here are your hosts, Jim and Lori Baker!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gray Street.
Hi there.
What an exciting day. Oh, don't miss today. We're going to introduce some new things. I pray night and day how to be prepared. I feel like the voice crying in the wilderness. You can't take anything from me because I've been through the loss of all things, and I'm going to occupy till Jesus comes.
Amen. We feed them first, and then their hearts are open because their bellies are full. And that's what's going to happen in these last days that we're living in. You're going to be the lighthouse in your neighborhood, in your family, in your community. And you're going to have that opportunity to lead them to the Lord Jesus Christ, which is the most important thing.
Lori, you talked about it's time to prepare.
Yes.
You know, I've seen so much whining lately. and forgive me for talking about it, but I know pastors. I had a bishop for the whole part of the country. He said the hell in the churches is the worst it's ever been, everywhere. That's Satan tearing up the church.
Sure.
Because the church is God's idea.
That's right.
And what is my little saying? You heard about the children of Israel? If you whine,
you stay behind.
Stay behind. And there's people that are not going to be ready because they've been whining.
That's right.
They complain.
Say it again.
If you complain, you
remain.
That's right.
It's true.
And I'll tell you what, it's time to get into the Bible.
Amen.
It's time to love one another.
Yes.
It's time to forgive each other.
Right.
Amen.
It's time to not judge each other.
Boy, that's
It's
freeing.
time to get our focus on the Word of the living God.
Amen.
I'm telling you, it's epidemic right now.
Yeah. And the reason it's epidemic, I really believe, is so that it's a distraction.
Absolutely.
You know, and I believe that Satan's one of his number one tools in his tool belt is distracting you from the purpose of preparing your heart, preparing your mind, preparing your soul, preparing physically.
Yeah. I've got to go back to Joseph's
Yes,
pantry.
we do because of time.
Like
yes.
John Kilpatrick says, Satan is trying to shut your voice down, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Jim, you're going to have to start yelling to be heard
Mm-hmm.
over the top of the clamor.
Mm.
It's a satanic attack, nothing more. Do not be distracted by evil. That's for you, pastor.
Mm-hmm.
There's pastors so busy putting out fires,
Right.
they don't even have time to prepare their sermons
That's
anymore.
right. That's it.
Satan is trying to shut your voice. The critical time through July through September, you must get the word out. Satan is trying to shut or close your mouth. The next few months are crucial. These were the notes as Lori took them down and wrote them down.
Mm-hmm.
So the enemy is going to be disposed of and neutralized. And it's time for pastors to get back into the Word, to be preaching the Word.
Yes.
And there's one more piece I wanted to read here. Jim's voice is to be diligent and clear. I don't know how to focus any more than what I'm doing. But you say, Jim, why is it so important to get food? And why is it so important for the church? Because when the events come about, there won't be food to eat. That's what Jesus taught us. Am I the only preacher that went to prison to read the whole Bible? I read the Bible. I started with Jesus. I read every word. I read the red. I read every word. And he said there's coming a time when there will be no food to eat. Is that all right? Did you? I taught that to you, son.
That's what it says.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, it talks about it in Matthew 24 whenever his disciples says, tell us what it'll be like before you come back.
That's right.
One of those sayings is that there's going to be a time when there's no food to eat. That's what Jesus said. The red letters, our Savior, who we trust. That's what he said. It also talks about it in Revelation chapter 6, like we've talked about earlier on the show as well.
You need to be having the food. You need to be ready. You need to be healthy. You need to be strong.
Right.
Because we've got to help people. I was thinking, look at that pitcher of milk right there. That is
beautiful.
the morning moo milk. Right there. It's thick. I mean, look at it. Look at. Can you see that close up of my finger there? Look at that. That's the cream on it. Like, it's creamy. I mean, it's like the old days when I went out and picked the milk off the front of our porch. Can you imagine?
Wow.
When our babies were growing up in the ghetto before we got them, they weren't given milk.
No.
Tell the people what they had.
What they did to fill their stomachs was they would give them sugar water. So in their bottles, if they had a bottle, they would literally, that's what Ricky, the first 4 years of his life, which I'm still working on getting that addiction from sugar out of his life. Seriously. He has a sugar addiction simply because for the first 4 years of his life, that all he drank was sugar water, where they just put sugar inside of water just to keep him from crying.
But can you imagine in the last days the value of that picture? And this morning moo is in every order we ship of the food orders for the year.
That's right. The year for two, the time of trouble.
The 7 year is this.
The sampler.
And
it's
I mean, it is rich and healthy for you. And so here we have a loaf of bread here. You can get how many loaves in this bucket?
12 per bucket.
12 loaves of this 20-year. No, this how many years? This
10 years. 10 years.
10 years, and it'll last a little longer than that probably. But but because it's bread, it just will hold
10 years.
10 years.
10 years. Just add water.
The honey white bread and rolls, and the honey wheat bread and rolls. You can order the honey wheat or honey white. Okay,
and I just have to say that
bucket.
bread is amazing. I've been over here eating it, and it's incredible.
Ooh, it's still hot.
This is one of the best breads I've ever had.
Can I have a little
It
honey
tastes so homemade.
Okay. All right.
This is,
there's nothing like honey. Honey is God's idea.
It truly is.
Fresh
and
bread.
to think you have fresh bread, can you imagine?
No, but that honey on it tastes like pancakes almost.
But no, can you seriously imagine coming out of the oven or and it's warm, and you're going through the times of trouble. You're going through a hard time, and you're going to have right there in your pantry your own bucket of bread, or 2 or 3. I'd get several if I was you.
I see you guys eating, so I'm going to eat some too because
I'm
patiently waiting to get some here.
I'm telling you, that bread is good. You could make muffins out of that. That bread's that kind of, it tastes
you could
like
even
a
make a
muffin.
cake base too if you wanted to add more sugar to it.
That is a cake. That is a cake base. Grandma, we got a cake for you. We'll make a cake out of this here for your birthday party. No, that is good. That is
if you don't say so yourself, it's good, isn't it, Mark? I like that. I'll speak for you there.
Now,
Thank you.
how long ago did you invent this bread for me?
The bread was made about 2 weeks ago or less.
Oh my!
And it's available to ship now.
Incredible.
And you got to remember, this is no yeast bread. So we're making this bread without yeast. Yeast is really what makes bread rise. It's what makes it fluffy, makes it live. We're making this live without yeast.
That's
We're making it possible.
It's probably better for us not to eat yeast. Honestly, there's just,
Absolutely. You can
know,
literally
really.
make Jewish communion and all with this because there's no yeast in
Sinless
Yeah.
bread, right?
Sinless bread.
It is sinless bread. That's
All right.
what we should be
Now-
calling it. Sinless bread.
But-
That's what I need.
So,
the sinless bread.
Let
that's
come on
good.
over, Mark. Just stand right here, Mark. At
Okay.
that pillar. I'll stand here at this pillar here.
A wise man
Okay.
prepares.
Now here's what I've been praying night and day for. I'm serious. I need something bulk to keep people alive.
Yes, absolutely.
The little children, the mamas, the old ladies, grandmas. Some of you are old. You can't get out of the bed. We got to take care. We got to make plans for the old people in the church.
Yes.
How are we going to feed them? How are we going to take care of them? That's what the church does.
Yes.
And that's why we're trying to build this community. Where you live is going to be one of the most important things on earth. So you got to take care of your local church. Your believers have got to get together. Do you get that or not?
Yes, the key to survival in the end times is the Christian body, the community getting together. That's exactly right.
This bucket right here, this is 6 gallons.
6 gallons, white
that
rice.
right?
Yes.
It's right, white rice. And there's brown rice next to it. But the
Instructions will
white
follow.
rice is a 20-year shelf life. It's a bulk food.
That's right.
So it's really you get more for your gift because it's in the bucket. It'll last.
This message is transmitted at the request of the United States Office of Civil Defense. The North American Aerospace Defense Command detected 3 ICBMs launched from North Korea. The first missile is expected to reach the Los Angeles, California area within 2 hours. The second missile is expected to reach Chicago, Illinois in 3 hours. The third missile is expected to reach New York City, New York in 3.5 hours. Anyone within a 400-mile radius of these cities is at the risk for significant fallout. Anyone, which is most of the United States, in this area needs to seek the nearest fallout shelter. Bring a battery.
Welcome to the Jim Baker Show, coming to you from the village of Morningside, snuggled in the beautiful Ozark Mountains. Join Jim and Lori Baker, along with many of the Baker family, today for our Super Summer Sale, featuring amazing deals that will bless you and your family. And now, direct from Grace Street at Morningside, it's the Jim Baker Show. Welcome to the Super Summer Sale. We want to thank you guys for being here with us today. We have a lot of excitement going on.
We're going to show you some of the deals that are going to be going on today. So we're going to have fun today. So get your coffee, get your water, get your tea.
Yes.
We're going to relax. We're going to take our time. We're going to talk about deals of a lifetime. Hi, Sue. I haven't seen you this early in a long time.
I know. I don't think we've seen each other this early in the morning in quite some time.
Who is that?
Luann?
Luann?
Yes,
Come
it is.
here.
There she
Oh,
is.
my. Oh.
Look what she has.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh. Fat-free, sugar-free.
Is a pastry chef. My sister's a pastry chef, and she said she would drive me down here because I'm not a driver. And she said, "Sister, I'll bring you." I said, "Well, you got to bring them something."
Oh, my goodness.
That is incredible.
Luann, we met you in Houston.
Yes.
And you went through probably one of the most horrific, life-changing moments that you never thought in a million years this was going to happen to you.
Never. Because I was praying, and before the lights went out, I made sure I paid all my tithes, and but you know, what does the word say? He will restore what the locusts will take away. And then y'all came in, blessed me tremendously, blessed our city. Y'all were awesome. And so I thought, I want to come back. I want to come help. So I've got my basket full of stuff.
Amen.
I've done some Christmas shopping here. I've done Luann shopping here. And all of y'all need to come out. I've been praying that God will give you tremendous sales today, that you would break records today, because this is for the ministry.
Amen.
And this is important. because we have to support the ministry.
Amen.
This
and
is
and
the
that's what
reason
it's
why
about.
we do what we do. This is the reason why we raise money. This is the reason why we have Christian television, is so that we can do things like this, so we can reach out to the world. You know, it's what it's all about.
That's it. I got a surprise for you. Close your eyes. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, open your eyes. Oh!
Jim Baker. Good morning, Jim Baker.
Luann, you made it.
Oh.
What are you making? Sin.
Yeah, there's sin.
Woo.
We call them
Good to see you.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm excited about today
Yes.
because I've kind of named the day something, and it's teamwork makes the dream work.
I
Our
love it.
favorite saying.
Yes.
And this whole day we're going to be talking about teamwork.
That's right.
Yes.
And dreams work. And we started how many years ago, Mondo?
About 15 years ago.
Yeah, we've been on the air 15 years since when we were downtown Branson. Remember at the
Yes.
at the
Studio
Cowboy
City.
Cafe,
Yes.
where we took over there. And here, when I got out of prison, I had nothing, and everything was gone. Even the house burnt down while I was in prison that I raised the children in. So it was kind of, it was crazy. And here, God has restored our family. And you gave me 2 grandkids.
I did.
You started this whole thing out.
Yes.
And now we've got a baker's dozen.
That's right, it's 13.
13 grandkids.
And I don't know. I got a feeling we're going to have a lot more.
I think so, yes.
Well, like I said, I love that you said
think you'll ever get married?
One day, hopefully.
You'll have, half a dozen grandkids for me?
I will. You said 7?
I think you need to talk to his wife, his future
That's
wife
so
about
funny.
that, Dad.
Well, you were saying teamwork makes a dream work, and I love that you said it because, we're talking about prepping today. We're talking about practical things, and Joseph could not have stored up all the grain to essentially save the world by himself. There's no way he could have gone out and done it by himself. It took everybody coming together and making it happen.
Yeah.
We want to encourage everyone to take advantage of these sales while you're watching right now.
Yeah.
When you see it on the screen, go ahead and take advantage of it, because we can't guarantee that
And
it's
once
gonna
they're
make it
gone,
for the
they're
day.
gone.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
some of the items you have to go to the website because
That's right.
there's limited, and it will automatically tell you if it's out.
Absolutely.
So when they're gone, they're gone.
That's right.
So go right now.
There's going to be things you haven't
brand
seen on the
new.
Jim Baker Show.
Brand new.
These are brand new items. Now,
Oh my God.
1-888-988-1588 is the phone number.
We're
if you want
in.
to call.
These are the crazy day sales. Marcella, what in the world? What you?
You told us to give them a good deal, so
Oh, I didn't say give it
I
away.
have to give it away to give them a good deal. We want to bless them.
I mean, this is one of the greatest books ever published.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's got the retail on this book.
I think it does.
$35.
That's right.
This is the anniversary of Israel, 70th anniversary. Sue, can you believe this? What happened?
I just have to tell you
Nana.
that. I know.
We called her Nana.
And I'm sure if Rabbi Jonathan Kahn is watching, he's probably going to be buying more. When he was here last time, he asked me, he said, can you give me a good deal? Now, I gave him a good deal, but not as good as this. So he might be watching.
So this amazing book, it's Israel 70 years ago and now. The whole book, it's for your coffee table.
I love this book.
Those
Yes,
books are
amazing.
for
These are going to go so fast.
$35
Now, we only have
$30 right now. They're going to go so
And
fast. Greatest
the-
gifts
the-
for Christmas.
This is a calendar that pairs perfectly with it. Only
This is Israel Rising
$5.
calendar
Yes.
for only $5.
Yes.
This is the calendar from.
And then you have the CD, the Israel Rising CD for $5 as well.
Oh my!
So you
man.
can get the entire set for $30.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
This CD would be
$20 easy
in the store because it's from Israel, made in Israel,
Yes.
in Israeli music. We got so much. This whole street is full of merchandise here. Some of it just came in from the factories.
Yes.
And so I'm really, really excited about it. Mama Lori wants 2 of those.
I hope she got one for me because this is something, whenever we were setting it up, Mondo, I think I even told you, I want one of these trail backpacks because you can't find them for this price.
Okay, this is what Mama Lori's an expert at
prepping,
especially grab and go bags.
Yes.
This is one of the biggest grab and go bags we've ever had.
Can I tell you that the weight distribution is so good on the back? You're not going to feel your back pulling on this, by the way. And it fits so nice. Look how big. This is what I love about Mom when we had the Katrina situation. She started putting the backpacks together with water, with food, flashlights, essential items.
Tell them what comes inside of it.
So if you get this backpack, you're not only going to get the trail hiker backpack, as you can see Mondo's wearing, you're going to get an LED headlamp, which means it keeps your hands free while you're doing things. But Mondo, you're going to get this trekking pole right here. And this thing is amazing. I mean, it has shocks in it right there, so whenever you're walking with it, this is, like I said, it says trekking on it, but Mondo, you're going to be able to take this backpacking if you need to assist it with the walking.
Man, that's cool.
And it's adjustable too, Mondo.
This is what I love, is that you can adjust it to your height. So it doesn't have to be stuck in one specific height.
That's right.
So it adjusts with if you're tall, short,
Now that
medium.
comes with
that
the
comes
backpack?
in the backpack for the bundle deal, but it also comes with it comes with two of these, the clear 115-hour plus candles with the globes, Mondo.
This one here?
115-hour candle. Where have you heard of that before?
Yeah, that's the kind of candles you need in emergency.
Absolutely.
Make sure you get this amazing backpack. Can I tell you that when I went to a very famous sporting goods store, this backpack was over $250.
Absolutely.
I believe
over $250.
It's a big one. It's a big deluxe backpack.
That's right.
And you could probably get a month or two of food in that backpack.
Oh, at least. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can carry this backpack. It has so many different options that you can put in. Let me open it up. I mean, look at the height of this. I got some pillows in here, but that shows you the quality of backpack this is. Can I bring it over to you? This is an amazing, look how deep that is.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And it has the strap so you can carry it without straining.
You can get your water bottle holder here. You can put your Seisha water bottle in here. You can walk around with it. You can have special compartments where you can put your paperwork, your flashlights. I mean, it's got so many different options to not just carry food, but you can have your paperwork in her.
Now, Mondo, we have Gary with Augustin Farms. Now, he's the hard goods expert.
Hi,
so he
how you
knows
doing?
about these products.
Again, how
Good to
are
see
ya?
you.
Yes, this is a great backpack. It's 2,800 cubic inches, so it's huge, right? Got all the extra pockets. It's easy to strap on. The best thing I love about this, Mondo, and maybe we'll show them on you. Look at this. Is what I call the load lifters. They're right here. Where's the camera? Right there. And you just pull down right by your ear, and it pulls that right off of your chest there, right?
Oh, it does.
See how I took all that weight from up here and put it right on your hips. So it's really easy to carry, really easy to load balance, so you're not off balance at all. It's awesome. It's great. So unbelievable buy. It's a ripstop nylon with a poly mix in the fabric, so it's really durable. Unbelievable deal.
Is it water resistant?
Water resistant for sure, yeah. Unbelievable buy. These are compression straps on the side here. So as you suck this thing closer to your body, it becomes easier to carry. I know balance is a big thing, right? You get this big heavy thing packed with all your food on your back. You might feel like you're gonna be awkward. Between the load lifters and the compression straps on the side, sucks right in, lowers your center of gravity, makes you more stable on uneven
I want
terrain.
to try it on a lady, because I know guys can do it, but it's important for ladies to be able to feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
This is Miss Kathleen. She don't lie for nothing. So you're gonna tell us, how does it feel? Can I put how does that feel? Can you put?
Oh, wow.
Let me see your mic.
All the time.
You do what?
I do backpacks all the time when I travel.
What do you think how it fits?
Oh, my lands. I'm not being dramatic either. This feels really great.
This is unrehearsed, by the way.
Absolutely. You were right. It's balanced.
It's amazing, isn't it? It really makes a big difference.
Absolutely. I am totally amazed, Mondo. Seriously.
And you're a very active person, so you,
Yes.
you would know if something fits comfortable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's 2 ways you can order this backpack. You can order with the starter kit of stuff in it. Stuff
right.
you don't usually get. And do you have the list on all that?
That's right.
Inside of
What
it?
you're going to get is you're going to get 2 115-hour candles. You're also going to get a trekking pole and a headlamp with this backpack. And that, I mean, this retail value alone is $100 for all these things that you're going to be putting inside this bag. So there's the headlamp you're going to get. It's an LED headlamp. And then the 115+ hour light.
We have 2 ways to order this right now.
Yes.
You can get the backpack
alone,
empty.
Yeah.
That's right.
For only $40.
And that would be just this.
Wow.
Dollars.
So that would just be
that's
this
the
right here.
backpack.
Yes.
But then you get the. I love that walking pole.
Yes.
At my age, I love a walking pole. Up here in the hills, I always get a stick or something to walk with, and that is really cool.
And it's very
It's
sturdy.
adjustable too, which is really fantastic.
Unbelievable thing about the candle is the globe. It is really neat. Just pops on and off. But there is nothing better than a little bit of fire, especially, fire gives that comfort, right? That light. So if you're trapped in your home or you're stuck in the dark and you need a little something, you can light that up. It's as safe as a candle to burn indoors, but it uses that incredible fuel that's so compact. That's why you can get 115 hours, and it's the size of a baseball. So unbelievable, great item. And then the hands-free headlamp. This has also got 3 modes. It's fully adjustable. You can wear it. Keep your hands free to do all those things you need to be doing during an emergency, right? Preparing your food, helping somebody else, helping your loved ones, everything.
Absolutely. So the way they can get this, I love what you said. Go back to jimbakkershow.com website, shop individual backpack, or if you want it with full of items.
I cannot believe the backpack alone is just $40.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when I went to that sporting goods store, it was over $200 for a nice, beautiful backpack like this.
That is a big one. And Mama Lori ordered 2 of them. So
Good. And it's very lightweight too.
So make sure
we
it's
get
in the
those
order,
2, Nate.
because I'll never live it down. She's on her way over here.
So I'm doing the math here. You and her make 2. So it's not for the kids, not.
No.
Christmas is coming around, Wanda. Christmas.
The kids have all left home.
Oh, that's the. Okay, I see how it is.
It's just Lori and the 2 dogs. Me and Lori and the 2 dogs. That's all we have now.
Oh boy. So we got a lot more items to go with. So,
all right, now this pole.
Here.
I love this thing. I want one of these.
All right. Well, if you order the backpack, it comes with
the
it.
backpack with the stuff in it.
All right, you get the
That's
deluxe deal.
$60.
Try this out.
Now, another thing about these trekking poles is really great. On the bottom, it has a little rubber foot. If you're on rough terrain, you can actually pull that rubber foot off, and there's a carbide tip that actually sticks really good in the dirt. Okay? So you can use that for a lot of things. Now,
I don't know what these things are for. Do you know what these things are for?
Yeah, so there's 2 baskets. One is called a snow basket. So if you're in really, inclement weather, so your pole doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the snow, so you lose your traction. And then this is just your what I call a desert basket or a dirt basket. And it just keeps it from sinking all the way in. It just pops on the ring right here.
How small does it go? About a foot?
About 1.5 feet, yeah.
But to be able to put it in your backpack and to use it, here in the hills, we have a lot of hills here. Right. And in fact, my backyard is very, very hilly. And I gotta have one of these. So I want the deluxe. I want the $60.
Look at that. You can put it right in behind your backpack. Fits nicely. You can take it out and put it at the height that you need it.
For $60, you get the backpack, but then you get the, what do you call this?
A trekking pole.
That's right.
A trekking pole. Get your orders in right away. And the thing that so many people have not ordered, some people don't have any food for survival. We've got the best survival food. And Mark, what's happening over there?
Well, over here, we've talked about the organic food offer that we have, over 152 servings. We have that displayed on the table. So they've been working hard in the background and to get the food so you can actually see what's in this amazing $70 organic food offer that we're offering today. So, Ricky, I can see you.
I darted over here.
Man of food. Man
How
of
are you?
food, one of my great food partners here.
This is the organic food supply right here. Just for $70 today. I mean, you're going to be getting well over a $200 value right now.
Or more, I would say. About
Absolutely.
$283 is what I've seen. Anything that even comes close that's comparable.
Wow.
As well as that item that says it's an organic item isn't certified with the certifications that we have. Ricky, we have certification that this is 100% organic food as well as non-GMO.
So let's walk through some of these products so people know exactly what they're going to be getting.
Okay, let's start from the front here, okay, and then we'll work our way back. So we have a roasted red pepper soup, which is one of my favorites. It's kind of a sweet, peppery taste. Okay, we have a creamy corn chowder, which I think we've done many taste tests in the office at Augustin Farms, and that one seems to be a top winner. Hearty chicken flavored noodled soup. So you can see the great penne pasta in there as the noodle soup. Perfectly cheesy pasta shells next. Fantastic. The cheese flavor on this is one of our favorites. It's all organic cheese, and so you're taking organic cheese, making it into a powder. Broccoli cheddar soup, you know, is an Augustin Farm staple. We love the broccoli cheddar soup. We've showed amazing things that you can do with it. One of our classic go-tos, the chicken flavored rice. So this just isn't regular rice with chicken flavoring. There's actually a cream sauce inside the creamy chicken flavored rice, okay? Tangy tomato basil soup.
Does it live up to its name?
It does live up to its name, and it actually has the pasta shells inside it as well. Caramel pumpkin oatmeal. So we've done maple brown sugar and oatmeal from Augustin Farms, but we've never done a new exclusive recipe that includes caramel pumpkin and oatmeal all at the same time. Okay, penne pasta marinara, one of my favorites too. It's kind of a go-to. We always love marinara. Silky butternut squash soup is the last one here. Butternut squash soup is one of my favorites. Has a little bit of hint of, you know, almost a nutmeg hint taste to it. So it's unbelievable, the price comparison and the organic. You cannot go out into any marketplace. You'd have to go to, you know, a Whole Foods or organic market and try to buy this. And we all know what happens to organic food. It's about 50% higher than regular food.
That's right.
What we're offering you guys here is about 50 cents a serving, which is unbelievable. 50 cents for a cup of organic food. You're not going to find that anywhere in the market, because everybody else that has a serving that would cost 50 cents is going to charge you $3 for it. But we're not going to do that. You know, we love to bring the freshness, the quality, the non-GMO, the organicness, food supply to the partnership to be included in your food supply at home. I know you guys have lots of food at home. This one is well, you can't pass this one up. Add it to it. If you have anybody that wants to eat healthy, is eating healthy, wants that organic type of food with a great taste, great flavors, and 152 servings for $70, that's unbelievable, Ricky.
That's right.
If anybody buys food today, buy a lot of these today.
That's right.
Because
And they're
you will
going
only see
very,
these
very
for
fast.
a short period of time.
They are going very fast. I'm going to go over these 10 different items you're going to be getting today, starting with the front again. That roasted red pepper soup looks so good.
It is good.
That's going to come inside this bucket. It's all just add water, right?
It is.
Just add water. Then you have the creamy corn chowder next, which is also going to be, like I said, just add water. It's going to be very, very good. The hearty chicken flavored noodle soup, and you have the penne pasta inside of there. It looks
penne pasta with
very
freeze-dried corn and vegetables in there.
And we have perfectly cheesy pasta shells.
You got it the first
I got
time?
it the first
Good
time. There we
job.
go. This is going to be like for the kids, really, if you want to make sure they're eating good. Like a little mac and cheese almost, but that is so
And
good.
the kid in me, too,
But
loves
I was
that
going to
one,
say, the
Ricky.
kid in me is wanting to
Exactly.
eat
I
this
stole
too.
it before you got there.
Then we had the cheddar broccoli soup. It's going to be another option here.
yes.
Now, all these are USDA organic approved,
USDA
right?
Organic. You'll see the symbol on every label of each pill, which you won't see in most foods out there. If you
That's
see
right.
that USDA, that white and green symbol, that is certification that our plant is certified, as well as every single ingredient that goes into these food offers are organic. You'll see the CCOF, which I didn't, I had to do my own little bit of background on that.
course.
I was like, CCOF, I forgot. Certified California Organic Farmers.
Wow.
Which certifies
They
non-GMO and more.
approve this as non-GMO
They
and
approve
more.
that. So everybody in California, we know how picky they are.
This
And if
is
they're
still
approving
warm.
this, we know this has got to be a dang
This
good
is
product.
still hot food. This is chicken flavored rice. Now, this is what I'm interested in trying. This tango tomato basil soup. So I might have to get me a bowl. This is still hot, very, very nice. As you can see, it also includes a shell-like pasta
Yeah,
inside,
it's got
which
the
is
pasta
interesting.
shells in it included as well to make it a little bit more heartier. So
And
we
then
love that.
this right here, caramel pumpkin oatmeal. Nothing sounds better for the fall season.
And I know your sister Maria. She
Loves-
helped make the food today, and she says, "Yo, I love this one.
Does she?
I love this one." So that's one of her favorites. And so you guys, if you need to buy this bucket just to try that one,
Just
as well.
to try these.
just to try all these. This food, man, is unbelievable.
Now, the silky butternut squash soup, that sounds good too. But you can use our Seychelles products with this, but make sure to go to thejimbakershow.com or call 888-988-1588. These buckets are selling very, very fast. We've been talking about the food. We've been talking about the water you want to make your food with. But John, if you're in a time of emergency, how are you going to cook that food? And we actually have a solution to cooking the food here today, don't we?
Absolutely. This is one of the most intelligent things that I think that you can do for you and your family. This is one of the hydro heaters right here.
That's
All
right.
it uses is water. You don't even have to add matches. You don't need lighters. You don't need fires. And Ricky, that's one of the most important things. That's what we're looking at right here. If you guys can see this, this is the Hydro Heat flameless cooker. Now, one of the most important things, Ricky, about this is one, it is safe, it is easy to use, and again, it doesn't require matches that put off fumes. It doesn't require you to put up anything that you're going to have to possibly start a fire. And why is that so important is right now we are seeing taking place in the West unprecedented fires going through Colorado, the Southwest, California. Every time you turn on the news, it seems like some part of the country is on fire.
That's
so
right.
This is a very important way. One reason is for those emergency essentials, but also for camping and outdoors. Gary's here. And Gary, you know, if you like to go outdoors and go camping, especially like Utah, there's a lot of areas that ask you to not use fire.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm from Utah, and we just had a fire started because somebody didn't completely put out their fire.
Right.
Burned hundreds and hundreds of homes. It's causing lots of problems. So this is a great way for not only camping and outdoors, but also emergency preparedness. Because if you're in a situation where there's maybe dry tinder around and you're using your emergency food, you may not want to light up something.
Right.
Or you might be in your house. You may not want to light a flame or have an open fire in your home. And this is a really good solution.
No open flame,
Right.
no toxic fumes coming off of it.
Fumes, nothing. Nope. It's actually based on an MRE heater from our military. So there's lots of development behind this. It's been around for years and years. Just somebody finally put it into a consumable package
Right.
they can use over and over and over again rather than just tear and burn and throw away.
Right. Now, what I want to do, I want to be able to show this to our audience because I could tell you about it, we can talk about it, but once you really see how this functions and how quickly it heats up, I was shocked and amazed when I was testing this product. I know this is something I want for my house, and I know you're going to want it for your house because you're not going to have to wait a really long time to be able to get water heated up and to be able to have something warm and easy to eat.
Yeah, and it's really easy to do. I mean, it comes with a packet. Takes about a half a cup of water to get it activated.
Okay. And you want to make sure that you don't overfill it, right?
Yeah, if you overfill it, you get a little bit of extra coming out.
Okay. So this is now within a couple of seconds here, you're going to start to see just right in the bottom of it, you're going to see that reaction with the pack and where it's going to start heating up. For me, it took about 10 seconds. And like Gary's doing, you want to make sure that you get that the pot on there as soon as possible because you are going to have hot heat coming out of that rapidly. Now you can already see it starting to boil up in there. So here in a matter of a couple of minutes, you're going to actually be able to cook your food rather rapidly.
Yeah, and the great thing is we're showing it without the heat sleeve here,
Mm-hmm.
but the heat sleeve makes it so you can actually hold this because it gets so hot so quick.
It really does.
It's really amazing. And what this lid does is it's not sealing the outside, it's not sealing the heat chamber, it's actually sealing your food so none of that water from the heat chamber gets into your food.
So this is really an efficient source and an easy way to be able to cook your food. How long does the heat last out of that pack?
The heat actually produces for about 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
But of course, at first it's stronger and it kind of dissipates as it goes down.
Okay. So like I said, as soon as you put that pack in, make sure that you have that pan in there as quickly as possible, because you are going to have hot steam coming out of that within a matter of seconds.
Yeah, you can already see it steamed up.
Now you can add your survival food to this and quickly heat it up just by adding simple amount of water to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's come back to this in just a second, because as that's boiling, I want everybody to be able to see it. But we also have our tumbler right here. Now this is an easy way if you want to be able to heat up your coffee, have something quick and small, easy to pack. You could put this in a backpack.
The drinks work really, really well.
Okay.
In fact, we did a cup of coffee the other day with the Ogden Farms coffee at work, and it heated right up. It was hot. It was a little too hot at first, so we had to let it cool for a second, but it's pretty phenomenal little
And that's
innovation.
pretty incredible. I know if you work outdoors, you spend your winters, and especially up in the north where winter is about 6 months or more of the year, this is going to be something great to be able to have to reheat, to warm up your drink, teas, coffees, cocos, anything like that. You're going to absolutely love. So make sure that you call us at 1-888-988-1588. I don't want you to miss out on this today. The Hydro Heat Flameless Heat Tumbler is only $20 today, and we were just talking about this Hydro Heat pack. But this is something that you're not going to want to miss today. So the Hydro Heat Flameless Cooker with 10 replacement heat packs is $40 today. Look at this Hydro Heat Flameless Cooker right over here. You can see the steam already coming right off of it. It is boiling right inside the lid. So you know, if you have to take the lid off, you want to be extremely careful, because there is some hot steam coming out of there. You don't want to burn yourself. But this is all a part of the essential emergency kit that you guys have come up with.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of time. I've been doing this for over 25 years in the outdoor industry and the emergency industry. Wanted to make sure that we had the right product for our partners.
It's giving you multiple ways that you're going to be able to heat or cook food, boil water.
That's right.
All those important things.
And that's such a great thing. It's always having options. And people have been asking over and over, where's Tammy Sue? Can she sing us a song? And you know what? She's about to tell us what the Lord has done. This is Tammy Sue, and look what the Lord has done.
Yes. Look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me, and it was just in time. Now I'm gonna praise his name. Each day is just the same. I'm gonna praise him. Look what the Lord has done. Amen. Come on now. Look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. What'd he do? He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me, and it was just in time. Now I'm gonna praise his name. I'm gonna praise his name. Each day is just the same. I'm gonna praise him. Look what the Lord has done. Play it, PTL band and singers. Yeah, come on now. Sing it with us at home. Look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me, and it was just in time. Now I'm gonna praise his name. Each day is just the same. I'm gonna praise him. Look what the Lord has done. Come on, one more time. Look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me, and it was just in time. Now I'm gonna praise him. I'm gonna praise his name. Each day is just the same. I'm gonna praise him. Look what the Lord
praise him. Look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. Yes, amen. Woo!
All right.
Thank you, Tammy.
Hey, guys.
We've got a deal of a lifetime.
Yes, we
on
do.
Water right now.
This is probably the best deal that we have so far. I mean, Seisho has been in our lives about almost 8 to 9 years now, and it keeps getting better and better and better. I want to tell you something. When we started to offer this water 32-ounce pitcher, we started with a $150 donation. Right now, you're going to tell us about an amazing price that I
Well,
can't believe that we're getting it down to.
I don't know what, this is crazy, and if you don't get them, you're crazy. I mean, it's a crazy offer. I didn't do this. My daughter did this.
She's been negotiating behind the scenes with Mr. Seychelles,
Marcella,
and we
where
got
are
it
you,
down
baby?
to a price that I know you're going to want to have
No,
it.
I mean, Marcella is our COO, really.
Yeah.
And she oversees everything, and she runs the warehouse as well.
Yes.
If God hadn't given me children, I don't know what I'd do. This ministry wouldn't be
It's
here.
what makes a team work, right? The
It does.
children.
And that's what we are.
Yes,
We're the
we are.
Baker team.
That's
Yes,
it.
we are.
And yes, we. Oh, there she
Am
is.
I in trouble again?
Yes, you are. Hello, baby.
Hello. Hello,
This girl
everyone.
works so hard, and she has her 2 babies in between times.
That's
you know.
right. Yes, that's my
And-
side job.
Yeah. And your baby goes everywhere with you.
She does, yes.
And so it's we just do it because we believe God is in favor
That's
of
right.
families. We
Amen.
believe in children.
Yes.
We believe in families.
Children are a blessing.
You know.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so you have a
my carrying case, and I
You have a
typically have
not a
my little backpack. Yes.
but for babies.
Yes, that's
Only
right.
It's in your front.
Yes.
What do you call those things?
They're carrying cases. They're like
For-
little kangaroo pouches.
I mean, every time I see that amazing girl, and your little boy is
Thank
so
you.
cute too. All my grandchildren are the finest and cutest in the world.
They are.
You talk about a village. It takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah.
This village is raising Jackson and Natalie and Olivia. I mean, it takes a team to do
Yes,
everything. And while she's
absolutely.
negotiating the prices,
I know, I'm on the
holding
phone.
the
That's
baby.
right.
So we're doing it all together.
Dad, I just have to tell you, Carl Palmer, Mr. Seychelles, I'm sure you're
Oh.
watching out there to see what deals we're
Oh.
doing.
I
But
hope he's not watching.
He has literally, he said, I want to partner with you guys. I want to bless your partners.
Yeah.
I want this to be the best sale that we've been able to do, Marisela. And so we got on the phone, we've worked through numbers, and I kept going back and say, is there any more room, Carl? Is there a
Yes.
little bit more room? Can you sharpen your pencil?
Seychelles creates the greatest
Yes.
water products in the world.
Dad, I'm telling you, there is no
Nobody.
other.
Nobody.
There's no one else out
But
there
here's
like
the thing,
this.
what you've done, and we're going to announce right now.
Yes,
These prices are below cost.
absolutely
Below
below
wholesale.
cost. Absolutely.
And it's only because we have some in the warehouse.
Yep.
We ship all the time.
Yes.
We're probably the largest seller of Seychelles water
we
products in the world.
absolutely are. Yes, sir. We
and
are.
the people that order them help support our ministry. Well, what you've done today,
so this
is the pH pitcher.
the pH pitcher.
And you're throwing in the carrying case
The
with
carrying
that.
case with it.
You're going to get 2 Seychelles PH2O 32-ounce with the cases for $75 today.
That's right.
You talk about a
Yes.
deal of a lifetime.
Yes.
This right here, you're probably getting about 200 gallons of
It
water.
makes pH water.
That's right.
That's it.
Wow.
And one of the cool things about it, Dad, is that it takes away all the contaminants that we're finding in the water system
Yes,
today. All the
absolutely.
chlorine, all the agriculture, which they call the synthetic organic compounds that is in water today.
Yeah.
This will take it all out. The chromium 6, fluoride, copper, lead, mercury, and radium 222, which they're finding a lot of
Yeah.
it in California. So for $75 today,
And
you're
that
getting
also,
two.
so it takes out a lot besides making pH.
That's right.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yes.
And it it cuts out asbestos and things like that that's in the water.
Chlorine that we're finding,
That's
arsenic.
right. Yeah.
I mean, all the heavy metals in your water today
That's right.
for $75.
And I'm just going to tell you that, I look at the pictures that are out there on the line that are retailing everywhere. If you look at the lower on many of the pictures that are out there, other brands, they literally say in small wording, do not use to filter water.
No.
So you look at this product right here that is literally made to just truly filter
Yes.
out, so many things. And so it's just so amazing.
Listen, the pH level is so important because you're dealing with acidic levels
That's
in your
right.
body system. 9.5.
Yes.
This is your pH answer right here.
Yeah.
On the go.
Yeah.
75% of
Look
the
at-
water we drink is away from home.
The man who discovered cancer
Yes.
literally said that pH water is the one thing that cancer
That's right,
cannot live in.
Alkaline water. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So once again, this
Junk
is a
as well.
limited quantity
Chemicals and-
item.
Absolutely.
Limited quantity. So go on the website, jimbakkershow.com.
Yeah.
Call us right now. These are going to go very quickly. Great gifts. Imagine if you have people in your life that you haven't introduced them to Seychelles yet, this is a great way.
It will disappear from
That's
online.
right.
Okay?
Absolutely. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Mark's got some special deals to offer on our Banquet in a Bucket, our brand new food, and we don't ever mark it down, put on sale. But just for today, we're going to have some specials on the Banquet in a Bucket. So if you've been wanting to order food.
And Lori, I'm super excited to be standing here with you as well as Ricky. And I guess I'm the one that gets to break the great news to everybody.
This is a great news.
Okay, what is it? They're doing the Banquet in a Bucket. We just launched this about a month ago. One of the best buckets
Here it
we've
is.
ever put together. The most food, the most variety, the most bonus servings. Has the innovation of coffee, as well as the cool, awesome Banquet in a Bucket recipe book.
I love
Today's offer is $165. So,
but free shipping on
with
top
free
of that.
shipping included. So unbelievable. If
Now, what's the regular price on that,
the
guys?
regular price was $195.
That's right.
We just, like I said, this thing just came out. This is lower than the Tasty Pantry Deluxe, which we were doing a couple months ago.
That's right.
As we kind of shelved that one
Yes.
and put it away for a while. You're actually getting this for a better deal. The brand new food offer
$30
for
off
$165. $30 off, as Ricky said.
That's right.
Fantastic. Can't believe it.
That is, and now when Mark says that, now let's go back. Okay, when you say that this is, are you saying this is the best we've offered yet at this price?
Absolutely.
Of anything we've
so
offered?
This is a one-time offer here today at this.
And if you're saying that, the man who creates it, who makes this happen, who has been in this business a long time, if you're saying that,
Oh, yes.
I take that to the bank and I say this is something everybody needs to get.
Today is the day, and today only. Take advantage of the $165 price. It's amazing. It's you're going
I
to see
throw
it
that
today.
hot
and today
item
only.
up there.
So
Nate.
trust me, we have these
It's a
hot
hot
item on this one. We have them in the warehouse. They will ship out
There
as
you
soon as the
go.
order's placed in the next couple of days. They are available. They're ready to ship. Discounted price only today.
Now, we have it on all of the offers we do just for today, the next 48 hours. We do have it on a single bucket, year for you, year for two, and time of trouble. Now, the year for you is going to be $650 plus free shipping. You're getting $100 off today.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
here's the deal. When you just said free shipping on the buckets, that is an incredible savings for you. I mean, because, these buckets are full of food. They're a little heavy, and shipping and handling costs so much money. This is time to take advantage of this offer. Guess what? This is the greatest value you'll get for the food. And when I'm looking at this, what's in here, you have your vanilla pudding, chili mix, cream of chicken soup, spaghetti, marinara, mushroom, rice pilaf, beef flavored onion soup, creamy wheat, morning mousse, low-fat milk. We know is the absolute best there is out there, better than
Absolutely.
any kind of
Yes.
milk in the world.
Yes.
Buttermilk pancakes, mashed potatoes, black bean burger, creamy potato soup, cheesy broccoli rice, sweetened banana chips, dehydrated apple slices, vegetable stew blend, pinto beans, long grain rice, the beautiful freeze-dried Colombian coffee, honey powder, and this
great right here banquet recipe book that you
Wonderful
put
recipe
together.
book. And Laura, you just described 20 different options and entrees that are included in individual pouches with resealable pouches, as we showed earlier. So once I open
love
my pouch,
that.
I can reseal it. So we talked about the 20 different items she just explained, as well as a recipe book that makes an additional 40 items, so 60 different varieties. Fantastic offer today for $165. One-time offer just for today. You guys do not pass it up. The book alone in there shows all the creative ways
It really
you can make
does.
the food. I think about a month ago, we made every single item up out of that.
we sure
recipe book.
did.
And I think we wowed everybody, not by just looking at it, but the taste of it,
Right.
the quality of it, the flavor of it.
And the way you can mix
and
and
way you could
match
smell it. Everybody could just smell the food. It's just absolutely fantastic.
That's why we always say we wish there was smell-o-vision so you could smell it, taste-o-vision so you could taste it. But on this, you just have to, all of our staff, everybody, we all taste it. We go through tasting times and we're like, hey, if we don't like it, it doesn't make it to you. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, and there's something I can keep repeating. I'm going to keep repeating that price. I'm so fortunate that I'm the one that gets to share this deal with you guys. $165 for the banquet bucket. Has over 282 servings, plus an additional 120 bonus servings. So that's over 400 servings altogether. Even though some of them are bonus servings, which is the coffee. The coffee's fantastic. I
It
see
is.
Mondo walking around with his coffee in his mug. And
I'm very impressed with the coffee, and I know everyone. I know we've talked about it, but I can't even talk about it enough because I'm kind of blown away with even my kids. I mean, hey, they all go to that place and they buy their coffees for a lot of money, $4 or $5, whatever a cup. And to think that you could even use this coffee now. And what we did, Mark, is Jim and I ordered some of the coffee buckets, and so we have one in our pantry, like our little regular pantry at the house, in the kitchen pantry. So somebody stops by, if I was out of coffee, it's there. So it's wonderful to keep and use.
People
every day.
say I don't like coffee, but I like this one.
Right.
Mondo's like, this is
true.
really good coffee, so I drink it. I took a water bottle back there, and I took a little of the pouch, opened the pouch up, and I just poured the coffee crystals inside my water bottle, shook it up like this, and I had a cold coffee brew. So if I poured that on ice, it'd be fantastic.
Now, I heard you say earlier your wife only drinks iced coffee. I do too.
Yeah,
I love the iced coffee.
She
I'm
loves
not
black iced coffee.
Wow. Well,
Occasionally she'll get something to mix it up a little bit.
Now I like the coffee with the morning news milk in it a little bit. That's how I like it.
That's one of my favorites as well.
It's fabulous. We're going to move on over here to the organic. Okay, I am so excited about the organic.
Yeah, the organic is super, super great. Take advantage of this banquet bucket pricing today and take advantage of organic
Mark, you tell me about the organic. I want to hear about this from you.
Okay, so the organic food was really developed for the people out there that were looking for something that was certified organic, non-GMO. We have a lot of requests for gluten-free foods. Gluten-free is a little tight. It's a little hard to get the real true flavors out of foods. And so we went to the next best step was going organic.
Yes.
So we wanted to offer an organic food, 10 different recipes. We wanted to offer a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner.
Okay.
Everything that you see in this bill is certified organic from the raw materials into the entrees that we mix them into every step we take. Our facility is a certified organic facility.
I love that. And I heard you explain that.
Organic symbol there.
Right.
And the other symbol is the CCOF, which is Certified California Organic Farmers.
It's tough to get that from California.
It's tough to get both those emblems on there. This is certified for that. And I think organic's a great part of it, but the truth is, what I love about it is the 152 servings for the $70 price. The creativeness and the new recipes. So we talk about new recipes and what Augustin Farms brings to the table. We continue to innovate. We continue to bring you guys things you might not have at home. And I'm telling you, when we talk about organic, and I talk about even the people in our office in Salt Lake City at Augustin Farms, they talk about, I like the food, but we make everybody taste the food and they get a chance to make it and taste it so they can be educators on it as well.
That's right.
And a lot of the people say, we like it, but I like healthy, I like non-organic, I like organic, I like non-GMO stuff, so I don't think I'd eat it every day. So this food we really produced. These guys were blown away by it. We did the tastings in our office, and now we have about 10 new Augustin Farms organic customers that are actually employees that buy the organic food just to eat it.
Well, that's it. That's quite a
Which is
testimony.
great. I'm telling you, this food's good. We got all of them laid out here, all 10 different options. If you guys have millennials, if you have kids at home, if you have people that think, you know what, I won't
You know
eat
what?
things
It's not
unless
just
it's clean and
millennial.
healthy.
It's me. I love organic.
It's you too, so
I'm a
that
baby
includes you.
boomer.
And
You got to
listen,
include the baby
I agree
boomers,
too. If there's
Mark.
an organic
Come on.
seal on there, if there's an organic seal on there.
Listen, there are baby boomers. We're the ones who started the whole natural food thing going on back in the 60s. We were done with all the processed, you know. But seriously, we love organic. I buy everything I can organic. If I can do it, I buy it organic. And this is, Jim's not around because I don't remember if we ordered one of these. Because if we didn't, I'm ordering a few of
Everyone
these.
should have one included in their food supply. I know you guys got a lot of food. Add some more. Add the organic because you never know. Every time I buy food, I love organic too. I don't source, I don't look for it directly, but why not have food that you know has non-GMO,
Absolutely.
has completely no pesticides on it, is a completely...
Well, you have to remember also,
organic.
especially if, let's say, you're a church and you're preparing for other people, there's going to be people with allergens that maybe can't eat regular food like this. So this is going to be something that allows even more people to come into your church and be fed because you have items like these. And they're not just like organic items that you go and they're basic. These are full-blown recipes that are delicious.
Yeah,
if it's okay, let's talk about each individual one that comes inside
Before
of
you
this.
do, can you just tell me the price? I don't have a card in front of me. How
This
much
is $70 just
But what's
today.
the regular price?
200.
Now, I
It's a
want you to
value.
know something. This is exclusive for you right now, for the Jim Baker Show audience. Thank you, Mark, for making
Absolutely.
this only for us and exclusive to the partner. But this is a value of $200. Well, today, $70 right now. And I'm telling you, people are calling. You're calling in. You're ordering. Yes, applause.
I have people around me. If you could see what I see around me, when I have people that work for us around me going, raising their hand, I want one, I want one. I'm ordering some too
This is all
immediately.
natural,
It's over today
organic,
only.
and I'm glad you explained because there's no chemicals inside that are going to harm you. You talk about going back retro or old school. You know what? There's so much processed food that is really messing with our insides.
Yes.
And we know from Dr. Don that inflammation is the number one cause of disease. Well, what better way than taking care of yourself during
That's
a
right.
time of emergency or trouble and have good, healthy, organic food.
It's exciting.
And have all the process out of the way. And for $70,
yes,
you can't get any better.
Right. So Ricky, tell me show me some of these.
So we're gonna start off with the roasted red pepper soup right here.
yeah.
Wow.
As you see, it's beautiful. It looks silky. It has a bold flavor. I smelled it. I got to taste a little bit of it. This is absolutely
My
fantastic.
daughter's favorite too.
Then you say it's your
Really?
daughter's,
My daughter's favorite,
favorite,
yes,
soup,
absolutely.
rightfully so. We also have the creamy corn chowder. And listen, I'm not from the New England area, but they have the corn chowder up there. They're the clam chowder. But I love chowder in general. And this has approval. This is good stuff. And like you
really-
said, organic, certified organic.
Love
we also have
that.
the hearty chicken flavored noodle soup with the penne pasta, as you can see, and that's going to be a hearty
That's
meal.
my favorite way to eat pasta is penne pasta.
Now this next one I love. We gotta say it 3 times fast. The perfectly cheesy pasta shells.
The perfectly cheesy
It's like
pasta shell.
it's like the
Perfectly
child
cheesy
in all of us,
pasta
but also
shells,
good
yeah.
for children. Maybe if they have a food allergy or they need organic foods, this is gonna be honestly the best one. It's
This
the
item, guys.
perfectly cheesy pasta shells.
Yes.
Then we also have the cheddar broccoli soup, which I've been ever since my mom convinced me I love broccoli. It's been my favorite, one of my favorite soups. It was cheddar. It is the cheddar.
I told him his
broccoli
whole
soup.
life. You love
She
broccoli.
told me my whole life. You love broccoli. Ricky,
You love
And one day I
broccoli.
just found myself eating raw broccoli. I love it to this day. It shows you words are powerful.
Words
we
are
also have
powerful.
the chicken flavored rice, which is going to be nice. It can be a filler for other meals, but also just good to stand alone and eat by
This is
itself.
my favorite, Ricky.
Now, Mondo,
This is the tangy tomato basil soup.
with the
Oh.
shell pasta inside
Yes.
of it too.
Wait, what does that mean? Explain it to me. So I'm learning this for the first time, so you guys are having to sell me on this.
Most tomato basil soups kind of just come as a soup base without anything in it. We actually added the pasta in there with it to try to give it that heartiness, to give it that fullness and kind of give you a little boost of nutrition to it. So
now this one right here. This is
Okay.
breakfast. You can eat. I'd say for dinner too.
This is a cool one.
I'm a snacker.
This
Caramel pumpkin oatmeal. caramel pumpkin.
Caramel pumpkin.
I know I'm
oatmeal.
blown away. It sounds like the fall season, but if you tried this, you would want to get an entire bucket of just this by itself.
That's what I told Ricky earlier. I think it might be our next new breakfast item. Just do a caramel pumpkin
It's
oatmeal
honestly
bucket by
so
itself.
good.
It's
So
awesome.
We have just the penne pasta in a marinara. It's very, very good marinara, very rich.
I
very
love
bold.
just marinara. I
And
love
also
it.
the silky butternut squash soup.
Oh.
There's nothing better than a butternut
Butternut
squash.
squash.
I remember we used to eat butternut squash
all the time, especially in the fall. We
But
love
this
butternut
is so,
squash.
so good. Like I
Yes.
said, you can add more water and make it more liquid. You can add less water and make it like that. But you can get this today. It's exclusive today, JimBakkerShow.com, or you can call us at 888-988-1588. But I hear the sound of the music. And Tammy Sue is going to tell us how we can hold on. Order your food right now.
Take advantage of it.
You might have a tough time learning the words to this song. I'm teasing. There's only 2 words to this song. And we actually just made it up the other day, and Dad loved it, and he said, I need to hear that. And I think there might be someone at home right now watching. You may need to hear it right now, that you need to hold on and don't let go, because your miracle is right around the corner. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, now, that's the song. That's it. That's how simple it is. So you already know the words. If you can say hold on, then you know the words, okay? So I want you to sing it. You might need to be singing it to person to your left or person to your right, or you might need to sing it to yourself. But you can do it, okay? So here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on with me now. Sing it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Do it with me now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You can do it now. Hold on. Come on, sing it. Oh, no excuses not to sing this song. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Do it with me now. Hold on. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Play it, band. That's the PTL band, everyone. Give them a hand. Woo! All right, come on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on to it now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Come on now. Hold on. Come on. Hold on. I see you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Sing it with me now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. One more time. Come on. Hold on. Thank you, Jesus. Now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Tammy Sue Baker.
We thank you so very much. Go to the website, like Ricky said, JimBakkerShow.com. You'll be able to see everything will be on the website. Or if you just see an item, you say, I want that, you want that, call 1-888-988-1588. But best is to go to the website
That's right.
so that you can see everything that we have to offer. Might have missed something because there's a lot of incredible deals
right.
here.
Thank you for watching today's broadcast of The Jim Baker Show. Please help us continue to share the gospel of Jesus on the airwaves. Call now 1-888-988-1588 to order today's special offers. That toll-free number again is 1-888-988-1588. Or you can order this offer and many others online at jimbakershow.com. Thank you for your prayers and financial support. It's because of you we can continue to broadcast the gospel of Jesus Christ around the world. Coming soon to Morningside and The Jim Baker Show. Billy Brim will join Jim and Lori at Morningside on Thursday, August 9th. Dr. Lance Wallnow returns to Morningside on Tuesday, August 14th. Rick Joyner returns to Morningside on Tuesday, September 11th. Rabbi Jonathan Kahn returns to Morningside on Tuesday, December 4th and Wednesday, December 5th. For our full schedule, condo and cottage rentals, and more, visit us online at jimbakershow.com. We can't wait for you to see what God's doing here at Morningside.